Welcome to Bryce Canyon National Park. Hoodoo?
You do.
Remind me of the Babe. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Hey, good morning, everybody. We're at Bryce Canyon this morning, and I'll tell you, I didn't expect it to be this chilly. It was 23 degrees when we woke up this morning. It's warmed up. It's about 33 right now. But yeah, it was cold.
And we've already seen wildlife. How cool is that?
It's always fun to see wildlife in national parks, but seeing them right before the park entrance was a good reminder to be aware of them on the roads. Along with the mule deer, there are pronghorn antelope that live here in Bryce. So go slow, give them their space, and just enjoy how adorable they are.
Wow, there's a lot of people here already this morning. Hello. Hi, good morning.
How are you today?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. Would you like a map?
I sure would. Thank you very much.
Thank
you too.
Thank you.
Of course, the visitor center was our first stop. We had to get that stamp and then head into the museum section. The first thing that caught my eye is that there are different types of hoodoos all over the world that have different names. I love the idea of goblin hoodoos. And naturally, this museum has hoodoos right there so you can wander through them. We also found out that there are prairie dogs. We love that, along with the history of the first peoples here, which we always find very interesting.
We still have a connection to these places today. It's an ongoing connection that will be never broken as long as we have our language.
So one of the reasons we go into the visitor center is to find out more, not just about the terrain, but the wildlife.
Found out that there are prairie dogs here, and they're right at the visitor center. There's a meadow just down the road from the visitor center as you're coming in the park, and they're all over. I mean, there wasn't tons of them, but there was, good, 20?
Yeah, there were about 20 just scampering around in the early morning air. Let's show you, they're so cute.
Utah prairie dogs are one in 5 species of prairie dogs in the U.S., and unlike their cousin prairie dogs, they hibernate, slowly appearing in the early spring. Bryce is an up and back park, one way in and out, so we drove directly up to the highest, furthest stop. Its journey from a national monument to a national park was a short one of just 5 years. Bryce Canyon was proclaimed a national park in February of 1928. It is 17 miles from the visitor center, and you get to see the terrain change several times before you arrive. You even get to see flashes of the vibrant layers of the Colorado Plateau peeking through.
It's so funny, this is not what I expected Bryce Canyon to look like at all.
After all of the snow and pine trees, we were not truly prepared for the views from Rainbow Point. It wasn't just the elevation that left us breathless. The formations and the colors are overwhelming. Limestone, dolomite, and siltstone layers make up the plateau in this area. The hoodoos are primarily sandstone that has been shaped by the elements into these otherworldly shapes. We were in love. And Wendy says hi. If you are a hiker, this is one of the places to start. You can do the strenuous 7.5-mile rigged spring loop trail, or make a day of it and do the 23-mile under the rim trail from here. We were on the driving tour this time, and there is plenty to see on the way down the hill. So if you don't hike or just need more accessibility, then this is one of those parks that gives you that option. Easy to access points like this one at Black Birch Canyon are the perfect way to take in the views.
This is just stunning. I can't even put into words how much more beautiful it is in person than you could ever see it in pictures. You gotta come here. Bryce Canyon, not a huge park, but there's a lot to see.
Among the formations are arches formed by wind, ice, and snow.
Now there are plenty of trailheads here that you can take down into the hoodoos, but even if you can't, just stop off at every pullout. The views are stunning.
Ponderosa Point is named for the giant ponderosa trees at the bottom of the canyon, some more than 50 feet around and 150 feet tall.
Wow, those colors.
Ever wonder why some of these formations are bare and some have plants growing everywhere? That's because they are made up of layers of different types of rock. Some great for plants to grab onto and root, and some not so much. But the formations are fun to look at, that's for sure. The hoodoos on the right at Agua Canyon are named the Rabbit. I'm sure that made sense before erosion changed the shape.
So we're taking a little detour. We've been in the park for a couple hours, decided we were starving, came down to the lodge to have some lunch. Keep in mind, there's very few places to get any food in here. So town is about 2 miles out, and there are vending machines somewhere along the route, but the lodge is really the only food if you want to sit down and grab a bite to eat.
There is plenty of seating at the lodge, and you will need it as you wait for your beeper to buzz for your table. Since it is the only place to have a sit-down meal, it's crowded. So, off to the gift shop for us.
Check this out, babe. It's beautiful.
The historical photos are fascinating in what we assumed was a much bigger dining area. Fortunately, our wait wasn't long and totally worth it. The dining room is beautiful, service was great, and the food was pretty good and not too overpriced. Back in the car, we made our way back up to where we had left off, the Natural Bridge. The name is misleading since the Natural Bridge is actually a natural arch, created by wind, ice, and snow, like that little one we saw earlier. The deep color of this arch is from rich iron oxide minerals. The visibility from Fairview Point is breathtaking. You can see all the way to the Kaibab Plateau, which is on the north rim of the Grand Canyon.
So one of the benefits of coming at shoulder season, which this year is in May, but next year is probably going to be in April, is you get to see the snow on the hoodoos.
A short flat trail leads from here to Piracy Point, so named for its battleship-shaped points. You may even see a wild turkey here, which will beg for food. Just say no. Take note of this hike if you like backcountry hiking. It's a bit more sheltered and a lot less crowded, but still has all the views.
Wow. Let me just get over the rail.
Yep, we had another one of those encounters. Don't be that guy. There are plenty of really great backdrops for your selfie than going over the fence line and to the edge of the canyon.
Whew. Doing some serious huffing and puffing up here. But the views are gorgeous. Hoodoo. You do.
Yep, that's a quote from the movie Labyrinth featuring David Bowie, a family favorite. This park had become a family favorite over this day. We said we were not going to do it. We were not going to go to every pullout. But how can you resist? This place grabs you and doesn't let you go. We were exhausted, but it was so worth it. And at least we know which hikes we want to go on next time.
I swear we've been to a dozen of these pullouts. And everyone has something that's just jaw-dropping.
And if you're looking for some place to catch the sunset, Paria Point is the place to be. It truly is stunning as the sun plays across the face of the hoodoos here. What an amazing view of the 500-foot deep amphitheater for a sunset picnic. Fairyland Canyon had my favorite rock formations because of the colors. All of the colors, especially the pink and the orange, are a showstopper here. It was an amazing way to end our day.
All right, so we're gonna sign off for tonight, but not sign off for the park, because tomorrow morning when we head for Capitol Reef National Park, we cut across the top of this park in Highway 12, and we want to share that with you too.
Yeah, but for now, we're signing off for today. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
And everybody, we are on our way to Capitol Reef National Park, going on 12 East. But you know, the good thing about it is there's a couple of state parks on the way, so we're going to play it by ear, not bomb all the way through, and we're winging it, so we don't know exactly where we're going to stop next, but we're on our way.
As promised last night, we are not done with Bryce Canyon yet. When you head from Bryce Canyon to Capitol Reef, you cut right through the top of Bryce Canyon National Park again, thus the view behind us. So we are going to sign off right now, but we're going to take you with us through the rest of Bryce Canyon so you get the views. Take care, safe travels, and we'll see you next time.
The top part of Bryce Canyon isn't that wide, but it would be the perfect place to pull out to see the night skies. It is a dark sky park. As we made our way, we discovered the one trail we wish we would have made time for, the Mossy Cave Trail. It's less than a mile round trip, and although it begins with a bit of a steep hill, it is considered an easy hike. Another one to add for next time. Thanks for hanging out with us today in Bryce Canyon. Next video, we'll explore Capitol Reef and share with you the many surprises we found there. So we hope you will subscribe and follow along.